This is changing the world. Some could say the change has already happened. They've got lists about everybody. They've got lists, more lists than Santa Claus. And you're on all of them. You have been hacked. But this is coming, and it's coming quickly. These are the things that nobody wants us to know, but everybody needs to know. We wouldn't know about any of this if people weren't willing to take risks to tell us, the public, what is being hidden from us. Whenever a great institution, a great power, a great government is embarrassed, or their policies are called into question in a way that challenges their power on a fundamental level, right? Not at the edges, not in a way they can easily change, but something that goes right to the heart of what they claim an authority is that belongs to them and them alone. They say these people are traitors.
Do you think he's a traitor?
I know he damaged the country, and the Obama administration will deal with it.
I've got to be careful here, Major, because Mr. Snowden is under indictment. He's been charged with crimes, and I can't weigh in specifically on this case at this point.
You think Edward Snowden was a traitor in revealing that?
I can never condone what he did. You know, he stole millions of documents. And the great irony is the vast majority of those documents had nothing to do with American civil liberties, privacy, or anything affecting us here at home. They were about information we had vis-a-vis China, Russia, Iran, others.
If I am a traitor, as these generals and presidents and all these figures say, the John Kerrys of the world, who is it that I betrayed? The information that I revealed didn't go to the Chinese, it didn't go to the Russians, it didn't go to the Brazilians, it didn't go to the French. It went to American journalists, right? That all made an independent editorial determination. Not just this is what some crazy guy at the NSA thought the world needed to know. Not just Americans, but everyone needed to know. But what the newspapers thought the world needed to know. This is why we have a free press in open societies. The whole reason they exist is to challenge the monopoly on information held by the most powerful and influential members of our society. The only things we know about the worst things they've done is because someone took a risk to tell us. And if telling the public about things of vital democratic importance, right? The boundaries of your rights, the kind of world that you live in, is now treason. It's the act of a traitor. That means the government considers the public the enemy. And if that's the case, that's the side that I want to be on. This isn't about names. This isn't about programs. This isn't about law. The problem is deeper. It is structural. We, our generation, is witnessing the greatest redistribution of power in civil society since the Industrial Revolution. What does that mean? Exciting words, right? How did it happen? A generation ago, surveillance was extremely expensive. Every government had to spend extraordinary sums, amounts of money, to track individuals. To know somebody's location, just their location required teams of officers, both in buildings and out on the streets, that were working across many different shifts. Today, that dynamic is reversed. One guy sitting in front of a desk, in front of a monitor, in the air conditioning, can now track with precision unimaginably large numbers of people. And this is for the first time in human history that this is really possible, both technically and financially, for both governments and corporations. Start to not just see what an individual is doing, but for the mass of the public. And from the things they see, without even using human eyes, but electronic ones, to start to collate, to collect, index, and save nearly complete records of all of our lives, all of our daily activities. It doesn't matter whether you're a criminal, it doesn't matter whether you're an innocent, Because under these regimes of bulk collection, as they call them, or mass surveillance, as the public calls them, things are collected in advance of suspicion, just in case they think it's interesting later on. And they say, well, if we don't read these things, if we simply collect them, it's not a violation of your rights, because a human didn't look at it, a machine did. The idea of an unconsidered thought, the youthful indiscretion, a forgotten mistake, you know, the picture of us drinking when we were younger at a party that our parents didn't know about, just being among friends, you know, those are starting to sound quaint for a forgotten time. These are things that no longer exist. Mistakes that don't follow us. Everything follows us. And think about what that means for just the human psyche. Who remembers precisely what they were doing on this evening just a few weeks ago? How about a few months ago? How about a few years ago? None of you, probably. I don't. But the spies at your intelligence services, they do. They've got lists about everybody. They've got lists, more lists than Santa Claus. And you're on all of them. Think about Facebook. Think about Mark Zuckerberg. He's almost intentionally insulted parliaments in Europe by going, I don't have to answer your questions. I'm too busy. I'll send some, you know, person at the bottom of the corporate structure to go sit in the chair, but my chair will be empty. And think about what that means about how he views the world and your place in it. The reality is Facebook doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about your country. It doesn't care about your politics. It doesn't care about your future or what happens to you. Facebook cares about your data, and only your data. They are a surveillance company, and their product is you. It is the record of every article that you've ever read, that you've ever bothered to click. But it's more than that. It goes deeper. It's the people that you care about, and who among them means the most to you. It is the ideas that attract you and the things that repel you. It is a system that is designed to observe your life, to calculate the value of it, to crystallize it, to save it, and then to do something with it. It is a system designed to put your mind on a shelf with a price tag that is available to anyone with the money. And it works. Now, some of you might say, well, you know, these are just the things that I put out there online, voluntarily. You'd be wrong, but for the sake of argument, let's pretend it's true and move on again, away from government, away from just social media, that kind of corporate surveillance, to something more personal. What about the things that you don't choose to share? How many of you in the audience have a smartphone with you right now? You know, an iPhone or an Android phone. It's everyone, right? I want you to imagine that right now, there's a Russian company whose entire business is based around the idea of developing a kind of digital burglary tool. And they go by the name the NSO Group. Their product used to work like this. They'd send you a time-sensitive text message with a link in it, something that they think you're likely to click, like a package delivery notification or an alert that one of your family members has died, and these are the funeral arrangements, and are you going to be there? And if you click this link, and because they can try 100 different times in 100 different ways, eventually everyone does, your phone now belongs to whoever sent you that message. You have been hacked by this product. Now the scary thing is, because of refinements in this practically criminal product, and it has a real name because this is a real life example, it's called Pegasus. It's now being reported that they no longer need you to click anything. No user interaction is necessary. All they need is your phone number, and they can hack your phone. Now from that point on, everything in the entire history of that phone, they can instantly and immediately copy. And everything that happens on your phone from that day forward, every place you go, everyone you call, everything you read, every photograph, or because they can turn on your camera and they can turn on your microphone whenever they want, not just when you want it. Everything that simply passes by that device, everything your phone is a part of, they are now a part of.